I'm gonna get you situated. I'm gonna grab my water. I'm gonna plug you in. I'm gonna plug you in like Finn. Alright, bud, if you need me, I'm in here on YouTube. Okay? Alrighty, Schneider. Alright. It's tricky. Hey, you know how long it's been since... Oh my god, I sat here? Do I need to come back to the table? I darkened my hand. I don't like it. Good afternoon. I got hairy armpits again. I told myself to just shave them in the shower, and I'm like, fuck that. So if you notice those, you know, just pretend that you don't, I guess. Okay? I have one deck that's been on my mind for 3 days. Hey, with the monkeys. People say monkey around. We're too busy saying to put anybody down. We're just trying to get friendly. Ooh, I don't have it in me for that. Alright. Come on. Up. That's not it. That's one of my favorite decks, but that's not it. That's not it. No, it's not the crow deck. It's the one where I'm like skating on thin ice. It's like, it reminds me of like my Halloween deck. What the fuck was that? But it's not Halloween. Did you guys just see something really weird in front of me? Ah, is this it? No. The song that just came to me, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, TLC. Ah, is that it? Nope. Motherfucker. Okay. Well, come on. I can't right now. Oh. Well, that is really odd. Is it really in here? And I had no idea. No, that's Crow's Tarot. Alright, that's strange. But I do like this deck. I just feel like it got real dark. Am I seeing things? Okay. I'm gonna go with this deck. Welcome. I'm not gonna stay on too long. It has been a long ass day, but I wanted to come on and share my story, and I wanted to come on and discuss the energy in general. Okay. There's suicide awareness again. I had even a coworker leave today. Literally, it was just in the midst of like chaos, and like everyone's like, I didn't see the signs, and yet. So there's that. Okay, we already know that there's a shit ton of chaos. If you didn't catch my clip from last night, there's that. I literally meant to tell my children to be careful on the roads, like careful driving, right? Oh, well, hello. Look I got a new sprout. Look at how beautiful he is. He or she. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. Hello. All right. I'm going to have to fix you. So there's all that going on. And I meant to tell my kids, like literally, like drive safe, you know, because it's just, it's crazy. Yeah, last night. And I've been like flushed all day. I'm like, huh. Um, it's rough energy, and it goes from like 0 to 100. You know, we have people that are sad, leaving cycles, starting cycles. Hey, I'm going to put it this way. If you're in a situation and everyone's in a situation, but even if you don't have what you want right now, but you're strong enough to move forward with or without, because you know it's best for you, even if it hurts, like you're golden. You're good, right? So there's that. But the energy is crazy. It's not gonna like lighten up for a little while, guys, right? Even making decisions and doing all that, like you're still gonna have heavy energy, okay? And it's just, oh my gosh, it's like it's so much right now. And Mercury's going retro, so we're already in the post of that, right? And when we're in the beginning, it's strong. It's strong. Okay? So there's that. Did you guys see my post today about the trauma? That was craziness. So it wasn't even like, yeah, I posted something today. I said, I witnessed my first trauma. I said, you know, big shout out to like all the doctors, all the nurses, you know, especially the ones who don't feel, you know, 15 dead spirits and, you know, are these all the loved ones? And I said, thankfully enough, you know, at least he's lucky enough if these are his loved ones. He's got a lot that are, you know, welcome him. And if not, they're like, no, stay, you know. But it wasn't even like a trauma. It ended up turning into a trauma. Okay, so I was just in like, I was on a different floor of the hospital. Wasn't even in the ER. And I went upstairs and he had, you know, certain tests and they were time tests. So I was already like 5 minutes late. So I was stressing out a little bit because it was already like craziness in the hospital after morning rounds. And so I'm like in his room, hey, and the nurses are like in and out. I'm like, sorry I'm late, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like sticking this guy and I'm looking everywhere. And she's like, oh, you can't go on that, you know, an IV like squirted out. He's on, you know, he's on blood thinners and it was a mess. It was blood everywhere. And the arm was broken. He had just come in because the arm was broken. 80-year-old guy. Can't see. He's in so much pain. Can't get an IV in him, you know, to even give him like pain meds. So, mind you, this is how it all starts. It's not like a 5-minute trauma, okay? This is like, it was like traumatizing for me. I can't even imagine how people do this. So, I stuck him twice. I couldn't get it. I'm like, I'm going to try to get a finger poke, but I really didn't even want to do a butterfly. I really just wanted a straight stick because you get a better blood culture. You get a better result. And they were stats, right? They were stats. So it was like, gotta get done. So I'm like, I can't get it. She's like, okay, we'll try to get it through the IV. And we try to never get it through the IV, ever, you know? And so the nurse comes in, she puts an IV in, blows the vein. I said, here's what I found. I said, but I couldn't collect enough. I said, you might be able to get that one. I said, it didn't blow on me. I said, what gauge needle are you using? She's like, well, I'm going to use yada, yada. I said, all right, I used one tad bit smaller, so you might be okay. So I'm like, here I got this woman like asking me for advice because I had already stuck him a few times. So she tries 3 times. So finally she's like, I'm going to call ultrasound. And I'm like, okay. And the doctor's like, can you just wait? You know, it's a timed test. It's important. Got to make sure he doesn't have blood clots. And it's a lot. So I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, this guy's like talking off and on, like he's trying to get out of bed. You know, the nurse is in and out. I'm like, you can't get out of bed. You know, I'm like, you got to wait for your nurse. And he's like, no. He's like stripping his blankets off. I'm like holding him down. I'm like, you got to stay in bed. So finally, I'm like kind of like a little stressed out. So I'm like, I'm just going to poke him. I'm just going to take from his finger. Like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. Like, it was already, like, stressful. He was in a lot of pain. He was moaning. Like, I'm not saying the nurses were, like, neglectful at all. They were just, like, crazy doing their own stuff with all the other stuff, you know, on the units. So finally he's flinging his hands back and forth. So I ended up calling a co-worker. I'm like, you need to come up and help me. I said, I can't even get a finger stick on him, because every time I get the right amount of blood, like, he goes like this and his hands are everywhere and he's like distraught, and I'm trying to talk to him, you know. He's like, I'm in so much pain. It was awful. So finally he tips that blood, and I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, this is gonna be a project. So my coworker comes up. Finally, the nurse is like, oh, perfect, ultrasound is here. You can grab it from the IV. And I was like, yep, because at this point, we're like, we don't really have an option. So she's trying to get him. We're going in there. She's saying his name over and over and over. And he's like non-responsive. He was just talking to me. He was just trying to get out of bed. He was going like this. He had just pissed and shit in the bed. Okay. It was a lot. And, non-responsive, right? So next thing you know, they're calling all the codes, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to get out of the way at this point. And the nurse, I got the goosebumps. The nurse is like, no, honey, you gotta stay. I'm like, well, I can just come back. She's like, no, you need to stay. I was like, really? Like, and me, I'm like, I'll just come back. Like, what is happening right now? Cold blue, and the nurse is like, you need to call his daughter. Like, it turned just so quick, right? But everybody was on it. And then more and more, doctors come in, nurses come in. You got everybody from different floors now coming in, because we don't know what's wrong with him, because he has no IV, he hasn't had an ultrasound, he's just coming in. We have no information on him except for, like, contact certain stuff. No blood work, no nothing, because we know nothing that's wrong with this poor guy. And so that had been like 20 doctors and everything, and I'm there, right? So it takes them probably they resuscitate him. Takes them probably about like 15 minutes to like really like bring him back. And I'm just like this, like in the corner. Like, I don't know whether to cry, to puke. Like, there's blood everywhere. There's people everywhere. The nurses are bitching at the other nurses because they don't have the right information to call the right team at the right time. It was, it was a lot. And the doctor's like, "Kay, what do you need for blood?" And I'm like, "Well, you have this, and this ordered." I said, "Well, since this is happening, you might want to order this, and this." I said, "Just put the orders in. We'll worry about it." I said, "Just please grab me like 30 mLs of blood. Like, here's the 3 syringes. Get as much as you can." And it was chaos. And literally, they're tossing me the syringes, because like, it's coming in. I'm like, oh my God. Next thing you know, my printer's not working. I'm just like, the adapters aren't working. So finally, I'm just getting them in all the tubes, and I'm just like jicking tubes at this time, because I'm like, I'll do this. I'll figure this out when I get down to the lab. And I must have been in there for 20 minutes, like witnessing it all. And I was so lightheaded. Like I was there focused on work, right? But when he's passing away, like, my energy, like, it was up and down. Like, I needed to like sit down, like and then I'm like, I feel bad for sitting down. Like, I would get up. Like, I was kind of like incoherent at like a moment. Like, the energy was just, it was so much for me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, like, is it this because like I'm an empath and this and that? It's not even that. Like, when you sense dead people, okay, and you can sense someone crossing over, that's like the hardest thing for a medium or a psychic or people to work with, And it was the first time I physically experienced it. Like, when my Nana passed away, I sat with her, held her hand, read the rosary. I took her rollers out. She had been dead for hours. I waited for, the mortician to come, and that didn't faze me, right? But the amount of energy that goes in and out of that room between the doctors and spirit, it, like, I didn't come dysfunctional, but I was kind of like dysfunctional. Like I could still function. So I know, I'd never be good with traumas when I thought I'd really be good with trauma. I really thought I would. And clearly I am not. Like I could not, like the amount of energy, like I got goosebumps head to toe. Like it's just like looking around, I could feel like dead people near me. Like real creepy vibes, even though I don't think it was like creepy. They were probably like family, you know. And they were in and out trying to like resuscitate for a good 10 minutes, you know, screaming his name, people everywhere. And I'm like right next to him. There's nowhere for me to go. You know, I'm there at my cat. I'm just like, oh, this is like not even really happening. And it was just, I could feel breezes around me. I could feel, I don't even know how to explain it. So I know I could never do that. And I mean, I knew initially, like I probably had a past life in a hospital and certain stuff. Like I've always felt that vibe. Always saw myself working in hospitals, this and that, right? But never a nurse. If anything, I would have been a midwife, you know? And that's different. I'm bringing life into the world. And if you got, you know, ancestors and dead ones looking in, it's different. It's a different vibe, right? So this vibe, like literally, like I was so like choked up leaving the room. Like I don't know if like I was in shock. Like I left the room and I'm trying to like I'm trying not to cry. Like I'm dead serious. Like I'm trying not to cry at this moment, you know? And I'm like all choked in by my throat. You can hear it in my throat. I'm like, don't cry, don't cry. Like it was so intense. Like I literally needed to go outside. I'm like, they're like, do you need a break? I'm like, I want to fucking leave work. Do I need a break? I'm like, yeah, I'm going outside. I'll be in when I can like digest what just happened. Because it wasn't really about how it all went down with him. It was about how I was feeling, who I was feeling, what I experienced, what he must have been experiencing, you know. It felt like I got goosebumps. It was like a push and pull. Like it was almost like no, don't, and they like no, it's not your time. Like not hearing that, but like feeling it. Like no, not your time, or like, but like people being like I love you. Like I don't. I felt cold energy, warm energy, breezes. I like creepy energy behind me. Like there's usually only one floor I feel creepy energy in hospitals. You know, there's dead people everywhere. I didn't even tell you my morgue story. But there's one floor on the GPU. It's like geriatrics and the psych ward. It's like an empty part of the hospital. It's been empty for a really long time. And you gotta walk down this creepy ass fucking hallway, long ass abandoned hallway with like empty beds on it. Like I got goosebumps. Like it's no joke. Oh my god, oh my god. And there's always like noises. And I looked over the other day and like one of the chair, like the wheel, I felt like it moved and it was a loud noise. And I looked around the corner to see if anybody was on those elevators. And then I was remembering like I'm like that those elevator shafts don't work. Like don't worry about it, but like I feel creepy things follow me, and that's creepy. So like when I get in the elevator, I'm like, you know, if there's any bad spirits, like I'll literally talk to them. I'm like, look, don't want you anywhere near me or attached to me. Like I don't tell them to go to the light. Like I'm not like that, you know what I mean? But it's like I know you're here. You know, could you just chill out a little bit? Cause you know, please just chill out. And so that's the one part of the hospital I'm like, I gotta go up it every day. And I'm like, you know, but this energy I felt today was different, but it was just as, I know they say intuitive is wicked high at the hospital. I've always had that vibe, but I don't know. But this was different, and I could never be a nurse or a doctor and be put in that position because the energy that I'm feeling, I'm not even feeling the energy of all the nurses and doctors rushing in. Like that part didn't even like bother me. Like that part's chaos, right? But that's not the part that got me. Like in my head, I'm like, you gonna make it? Like, what, like, you're gonna make it? Like what's, you know, it was a lot. It was extremely overwhelming. I still don't know how to comprehend that. So it was traumatic, right? But it wasn't even like a trauma. Like, I was just talking to him 1 second. I walked out of the room for like 1 second. And I came back in and like total unresponsive. And I'm like calling his name to him, like, hey, you know, for instance, whatever his name was. I know his name, but I just don't want to say it. You know, and it's just like over and like, hello. Like, you would just like tell me how you didn't feel. You were in a lot of pain. Like, and I was like the last person to kind of like talk to him. And I knew he was off. Like, guys, I knew he was off. And even when I was pulling, like when I was getting his bloods, I knew he was on blood thinner and stuff, but I'm like, there's something about this. I was like holding his fingers. You kind of got to like milk the hands. So I'm like holding the hands. And at one point I could feel him like trying to like hold my hand. And I'm like, dude, you can't hold my hand right now. Like, I got to get blood, you know? It was just, it was hard. And before it all went down, I had already been in their room for like 10 minutes, you know, trying to get blood and sticking them in with the nurses. So 3 different nurses came in with 3 different, you know, IVs. They tried 6 times. Well, 3 previous, and then she did 3, and then ultrasound finally came up, you know? So that was the story of my day. And I was sitting there talking to like spirit and the pendulum. And then I left the hospital. I went to another place. And they're like, you want to leave? You want to go over here? I'm like, yep. Like, yep. Like, yep. Absolutely. I left there at 4:30. So I started work at 3. Got out at 4:30. Not a big deal. I think I left the hospital like around 10. And I needed to decompress. Because even talking like with my pendulum, I was just like, well, why is this happening? Is it because I'm empathic? Is it because I'm into it? Like all that. And they're like, no. Like it really is. It's the medium between being alive and dead. And their guides, my guides. And I got a lot of guides. I got at least 2 that are always with me, if not 5, right? So, and then you don't know how many guides they have. And then you got family, you got loved ones. And then you have the energy of the trauma unit rushing in. And we just changed all our extensions because we just meshed with a new hospital. And so they didn't know the right extensions. And I'm like, this is not happening. Like, trauma's got to get here ASAP. And the medical assistants were just like, didn't know what to do. I was looking at them like in the hallway. I'm like, what do you guys do? What do you do? Because I'm sitting in here losing my shit right now. You know, like, you want to come in and help because here I am holding up arms and you know, no idea. And, you know, the doctor looked at me like 3 times. And I don't know if he was radiology, cardiology, like, I don't even fucking know what unit he was from or where the fuck he came from. But the look he gave me like 3 times, I don't know if he was like, I got you, or I know you're new at this, or like, who are you? But I mean, he had to know who I was, you know? But I'm like, why is this guy fucking looking at me like that? Like, you know, and I'm looking around, and like, I feel like every time I looked at a nurse, like a nurse was looking at me. I could like turn around and I could like just to see if there was like a nurse behind me or somebody, and there was nobody, but I could feel like breath on my like arms. It was that medium before you go or stay is no fucking joke. And I did work with one client where she worked in hospice, but she was a spiritual, like, helps people cross over. And she said it's like the toughest job, but she's kind of like good at it. And I always wanted to work in hospice, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, Cor, what were you thinking? You know, I think because I'm not trying to help them cross over. I just want to be there and here and now, you know, to have that person. But I don't, you know, I give a lot of credit to the nurses and doctors because it's, you know, they thrive off of that too. But I mean, I couldn't. And like I said, if I did anything, I would have been a midwife. Or if I would have ended up being a nurse, I for sure would have been labor and delivery. There's no question, you know. So it's a different vibe of energy. So, you know, it's just when it was all said and done, like, you know, the nurses are just like, was that your first experience? Like, are you okay? Like, like, you did really well. They're like, but I like, are you in shock? Like, they like looked at me like, are you okay? And I'm thinking to myself, was I crying? Was I like not, like, where was I? You know, like, I had that many people, like, where was I? Like, I don't feel like I was there, but I was there. Like, oh my God. You know, and they're like, well, you did, you know, an amazing job. Thanks for helping out and blah, 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 and staying on top of it. Like, because I knew right away to, like, hey, you got to wake the fuck up. You know, like, hey, we're losing you. Like, let's go. Like, it was, that instinct is in me anyway. But total chaos. But it's just the way they looked at me too, guys. You know? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. It made me wonder, like, where was I? And I literally said to myself, like, oh, you can see my bra pattern, sorry. I literally said to myself, like, I'll just come back. And the nurse was like, no, honey. Like, you're not going anywhere. I'm like, okay. But literally in my head, I'm like, I'm just going to come back. Like, you know, like you defer something and it's like, all right, I'll come back. No, honey. I'm like, no. What the fuck what do you need me for? You know? I'm like, you know I can't get them. This is why ultrasound is here. You know, ultrasound's last resort. You know, and I was even trying to help the nurse trying to get that IV in. It's like, man. It's a lot. It, like, instantly, like, his veins kept blowing. So we knew he had a bad fall. That's what kind of brought him in. But he was bruised. He couldn't open his eyes. He was swollen. His arm, his wrist was broken. We already knew that from the shape of it. He didn't even get to imaging. Okay? Like, he was just fresh in. So, put on a floor, checked in, you know. But it was a lot. So needless to say, when I get called to trauma, I don't know, maybe it won't be so bad because it's quicker. You're in and out, you know? But I don't know, fuck, seeing people come in a car accident all mangled up or whatever the case may be. You know, like somebody got a trauma the other day. A guy survived, jumped off a 50-foot bridge, survived. All mangled up, little like, I don't even, like, you know, and I'm just, like, that's hard. Like, sometimes they let you go home, you know, like, because it's a lot for somebody who doesn't do it on a daily basis, you know? So, and then I never told you the story. Real quick before I do a read, I'll tell you a story about the morgue. I think it was like, I just started the hospital and I still won't go down that hallway. It's attached to the lab and I saw a body going by. And I'm like, are we near the morgue? Like, the girl's like, yeah. She's like, I'll show you where it is. I'm like, no, really, like, is it like right next to the lab? She's like, yeah. She's like, you're gonna see bodies in and out. They don't try to bring them past, like, you know, a sanitary area or whatnot. I'm not saying that they're not sanitary, guys, but it just so happens, like, sometimes they have to go in that direction, you know, depending on who's in the hallways at that time. So, needless to say, the morgue door is at the end of the corridor in the part of the lab where we're at. Like, not where, like, the blood bank is or hematology or any of, you know what I'm saying? Like, not where chemistry and all that stuff. It's like at the other end where, like, we work, you know, before you're taking the blood out and it's airborne and that type of stuff. They all got special smells, let me tell you about that. But anywho, I was like, where are we going? She's like, oh, I'm just going to show you the morgue. I was like, okay. I don't know if this is cool, if this is morbid. Like, I don't know. She brings me in the morgue, okay? She's like, swipe your badge, see if it works. Because, like, sometimes you might have to, you know, grab something if it gets really busy. And I'm like, you're joking, right? She's like, no, I'm dead serious. I'm like, out of the morgue? They're like, well, yeah, you know, body parts or something. Like, normally, like, you wouldn't do that. But if it's really busy and they send you to a different part of, like, the lab or whatever, right? Because there's all different parts of the lab. I'm like, okay. Anywho, needless to say, right? She brings me into the lab. She opens the door. I can't remember if I told you this story or not, but she opens the door. There was a dead body in there. She's like, I don't know if there's dead bodies in here or not, but she's like, oh, there's one. And you know what she said so nonchalantly? She's like, the babies go on the shelf. The adults go here. She opened another part. She's like, and she showed me the jars in the shelves for body parts. The body parts. We're saving body parts. It was a lot. That whole day I was wigged out. My energy was off. I still won't use that hallway. No one like laughs at me or anything. Like it's not obvious. I just won't use the hallway. I won't use the back elevator because you need your badge to go in and out of that one. Anyway, it's just for certain staff, you know, restricted areas. I won't use it. And it's so much easier to get to like all the levels where I need to go, you know. 9 floors on that side of the hospital. And I still won't use it. It's a lot. So even walking through the hospital sometimes, like every morning going through like the main entrance, like I can feel energy. But that doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like that part doesn't bother me. But the morgue, hoo-wee, I don't know how morticians do it because it's almost the same type of energy as the trauma that I kind of experienced. Because just because they're dead doesn't mean they're crossed over, you know? So I don't know how to explain it, but it's overwhelming. Like obviously they can't be empathic or they don't work with the dead, right? These nurses and doctors, I'm telling you, they don't sense dead people like that, like not the abilities that I have or certain people have, you know? So I don't know how they do that for a job. It's got to be depressive. Like, I'm not saying everybody that goes to the morgue is not a sad being or a happy being. Like, who knows, you know? But, like, I almost couldn't breathe. But the only thing, and you want to know why I think I get creeped out on the psych ward? Oh, the woman today. She spit on somebody the other day. Pulled her badge, her necklace off. She's like, have fun, court. I was like, oh, not a big deal. I like Michael. I like one of the guys up there. One of the patients. He's fucking awesome. I love waking him up. He's like, good morning, Courtney. Like, he is amazing. So he's like, I got sunshine. He's amazing. He is amazing. I don't even know what he's for. I know he's going to try to get out of the psych ward and get into like a bed if the hospital has one available. But, so this woman, so I go in there. Sorry, Max. She's like, you can't take my blood. Fuck this. Blah, 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 blah. What are you, the vampire or the devil? And she thought I was Avril Lavigne. She thought I was Madonna. Like, she named off so many things. Can't take my blood. Get the fuck out of here. I'm flushing the devil down the fucking toilet. Like, I was just like, okay. So I tried tricking her. And I had the security guard outside the door. Because he knew if she saw her, it'd be even worse. So he kind of stood outside the door, you know? And it was like intimidating, but not intimidating, right? Because I can work with all sorts of energies. I'm like, what am I getting myself into? So I come back. I'm like, hey, you know, yada, yada. I'm like, it's Madonna. She's like, no fucking way. She opens the bathroom door. You fucking lied to me. I was like, okay, bye. I tried twice. Bye. So I couldn't get Michael either. So I'm like, I'll be back, you know, and I'll be back in a couple hours. I'm like, Mike, walk around, drink, you know, have some breakfast. He's like, make sure you come back. He gets nervous, you know, he wants the same people to come back. So I'm like, okay. But that floor creeps me out because they have access. Not all of them are locked in their room. So they can follow you around the hallway. Like, you gotta, like, your needles and everything, like, goes in a locked office. Badges get in. You know what I mean? Like, so they can follow you, dude. They're up on you. Creepy, okay? So I'm like, okay. I come back. The nurse is like, hey, she's back to get your blood. Can we get your blood or something? She's like, fine. She's drenched. I don't know if she just got out of the shower with her clothes on. She's got these hand things like she's a surgeon. She's putting them on. I mean, drenched, dripping, right? All over the floor. Didn't even question it. I'm like, if I can sit down, let's just get this done. She goes like this. Or like this. One or the other. No, it was like this. take my blood, you bitch, talking about vaginas and like anything she could possibly do to like threaten me. So I had a purple top tube and a red top tube. And the nurse, she's like, what can I do? I said, just hold the red. I got to do the purple first. No, I got to do the red, hold the purple. She's like, oh, purple. She's like, that's the color of royal. Now she's talking like spiritual and talking all this stuff about the kings and she was talking about like history and certain kings. Then she started talking about Lincoln. Anywho, I'm like, give me the red one. She's like, that's the color of Satan. Her voice changes. Take my fucking blood, bitch. You fucking mess up. I'm gonna punch you in your face. Mind you, dude, she's not restricted. Like, she's not, like, she's a big girl. I'm like, this bitch can knock me out. She actually intimidated me. You know, you got the gods there, but she gonna knock you out before the gods get to her. Right? And I'm quick to react. Like, I can back up, but you never know, right? And I'm working with needles. Like, she actually intimidated me today. And that's like when I leave, I'm like, you got to get walked out, right? You got to go with one thing, different locks so they don't follow you out. And now I'm like, after being intimidated by this chick, I had to walk down the hallway. I was like, hi, babe. I know, I saw your snap the other day. I know, we haven't touched base in a while. So, anywho, then I had to walk down the fucking hallway. I was like, oh my God. I'm like this. And then I noticed the activity was higher. And it was because I was nervous. See how energy works? Like, if you're nervous around spirit or bad energy, like, they can get you. They'll get you good. Okay? They know when you're intimidated. They know. Okay? So, needless to say, it creeped me the F out this morning. And that was in morning rounds, but I ended up going back. But this was before, like, the whole resuscitation thing. But the end, that's when I heard, like, the big bump in the elevator. I'm like, oh, fuck, no. Like, no. Like, I know you don't, I know staff does not use that elevator. Thanks, Aubrey. Like, I've asked these questions. You know what I mean? Like they're empty. Like, they're crossed off. There's bars on them. Like, you open them, you're dropping down a shaft. And I could hear, like, the sound of the elevator. Like a lot of people won't even go to that floor, okay? And I don't mind working with people like that. In all reality, I'm like, I'll go. I mean, of course I love labor and delivery. Of course I love maternity. You know what I mean? Of course I like, ICU and other, like, floors that are a little more cheery. Well, ICU is not cheery, but I do like ICU. But, so it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that I'm walking down a fucking hallway that I know is haunted with not good energy. You know? So every time I get on and off the elevator, I'm like, you guys with me? Like, I know they're with me, but, like, can you bubble me? Like, what can you do? Like, show me what you can do. Because I get more intimidated sometimes at leaving than going in. And now that I told you this story, I'm going to be, like, probably even more intimidated. But that woman, she was no joke. Like, not too many things intimidate me, guys. And she intimidates me. I mean, I've gone in there and tried to have conversations with people. I mean, you know me. I can entertain anything, you know? You want me to be Madonna? I'll be Madonna. She's like, you bitch. What did she say? That's why my son divorced you. It was some celebrity. That's why my son divorced you. Oh, but you won't sign the divorce papers. Like, she was just, like, full entertainment. I had one guy in there. He just smiles and smiles. He was a drug addict, right? So the day I caught him, he was fucking still high as a kite. Tell me where to poke. You know? You can get me here. You can't get me here. I wouldn't use that vein. I used it last week. You can get me in between your toes. I've only used so many of those. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm just going to see what I can find. And then finally he's like, I told you where to stick me. I stick myself every day. Yep, I guess you do. Thanks for letting me know what veins fucking bleed, buddy. Thanks. Thanks. I don't know. So now it's like learning, like, I gotta do some research too. I don't know if I want to go into that yet, but like different levels of phlebotomy and, you know, arterial sticks and, you know, prepping patients and working with anesthesiologists with certain stuff. And, you know, the money's more, way more, but it sounds really fucking boring, to be quite honest with you. I hope nobody does that for a living. I'm sorry. I just need to go, you know. But, and no one traumas come in, and, you know, you're always on call too, you know, coming in to like do certain, you know, IVs and sticks and all the other, I don't even know what half of them are called. I know what they look like, but it's just, you know, prepping people before, you know, they have, you know, heart surgery and, you know, getting them right in the arterial veins. Like, people don't like to fuck with that shit. And I know why they don't like to fuck with that shit, you know? But, anywho, that's enough of my story. That was my day. How was your day? Not to mention going to, like, off-site and then, you know, the whole, you know, suicide thing, and I knew that was in effect again anyway. And then people just like, this is a rough week. I don't understand why this is happening, and blah, 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 blah. And we just found out Jade's boyfriend told me it's COVID. He got tested this morning. Mia goes back to school Wednesday, but guess what? She can't now because she's not out of quarantine until the following Saturday. I'm like, I fucking can't. Like, I was just there yesterday too, like, but like, I didn't see her, like, not a big deal. Like, I'm in and out of COVID rooms anyway, you know, and all this other infectious diseases that people don't even know about because they're not on the fucking news, but they're just as scary, you know, they're just as contagious, you know. But it's just chaos, you know. But anyhow, I like it. It's just a situation I find myself in today was not cool, you know. Not that I couldn't handle it, like, because when the trauma kicked in, I was on it, you know. And then when everybody was there, time to back off. Not my job anyway, right? But it was like, so in the midst of it, I'm okay with it. But being in the midst of it and watching the in and out and the energy and resuscitating and calling and all the different units coming in, it was just, it was a lot. A lot. I literally said to them, I'm just gonna come back. Like, can you picture that? Like, because normally, like, we would just, you know, doctors in here, this one's getting, like, a catheter. And, like, literally, people would be getting catheters, and the nurses would be like, no, you're good. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, no, I'm good? It's like, disturbing. But some of these patients are out, you know, so you got to get in with these tests, you know? Like, you're the, like, go-to. You guys are the people who tells the doctors what's wrong with them, right? So, I just didn't expect the experience I'm getting, you know? It's getting an experience of, like, every single staff person in the fucking hospital, from surgeons to anesthesia to doctors and nurses. It's pretty insane. I still feel like it's an invasion of privacy, you know, but it is what it is, you know? And they could be butt-ass naked in bed and I'm drawing blood because they need it, you know? So it's a lot, but I do like it. I do. I don't think it would take me far, you know. I'm more into, like, YouTube and doing my own thing, but it is a nice mix, you know. So So the energy is crazy. So, I don't know. Let's read. I used to get like that, Corianne. Like going into the hospital, I'd get nauseous. Like I wouldn't be able to like hack it. But now it's different. Like it's my job. I feel the energy. I keep going. What are you gonna do? You know. But the experience today was got the 9 of Wands and 3 of Pentacles. It was quite the experience, and it wasn't because I couldn't handle it. Well, I couldn't, but it was the energy, you know, and it wasn't the energy of the chaos or the doctors or the nurses or the staff. It was the energy of the fucking dead. And I was just like, okay, this is where you want my abilities to heighten. Like, this is where, like, because lots of respect to the people who can work in hospice too and do the crossing over, like the spiritual aspect of things. I just cut it again in the same place. No, I didn't. How did we get that again with a different card? Tell me that's not odd. No, that's not odd. That's normal. I wasn't even thinking. I hope Spirit wouldn't send me in that direction, because I couldn't. God bless the people that can. There's no question. I'll be like, yo, you can cross over. Dude, go to the light. Cross over. I don't know what they say. Go. Fucking skedaddle. Get out of here. You know, that energy of feeling loved ones in chaos and dying and coming back. Guys, I don't know how to explain it. For those who have witnessed it and it's your family member and it's heartbreaking, it's not what I experienced. I experienced that too because I'm a fucking empath, right? But like the feeling I felt, it's unexplainable. Unexplainable. Now, okay? Now I'm probably gonna have all these people following me around the fucking hospital because they know I'm open to spirit. Ugh. I'm gonna be like, huh. Watch my back. Watch your back. I'm gonna become like real friendly with like the night guides and stuff. You wanna walk me to the ground level? Because I feel creepy shit breathing on me. It wasn't creepy, but it was creepy. I don't know how to explain it. It is what it is, troops. It is what it is. I don't know the purpose behind it, though. And because of who I am, I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose behind it, you know? Like, how much are you going to heighten my abilities? Like, where are we going with this? Because that's me. I'm more inquisitive. You know what I mean? Like, where are we going with this? Because you had me experience that. So why did you have me experience that? You know what I mean? I don't know. You want to be dead sitting in front of me? I'm good. I'm good. Like, I'm not want to go to funerals if there's like a string hanging off something. Like, that happened one time. I pulled the string off the suit. And I'm like, how did all these people leave a string on this, hanging from this guy's arm? I'm like, is anybody looking? I pulled the string and it ended up pulling his arm. It was with Ash. We couldn't laugh. It was more like horrifying. But like, I'm totally good with dead people. Like, I can be in front of you dead all day. Like, that doesn't faze me at all. That's probably why I thought about like doing makeup when I did cosmetology. I always said to myself, like, I could probably work for a funeral home and do someone's makeup and hair, you know? Like, that part interested me more than me actually collecting my hours to cut hair. So I've always had that thing with the dead, you know? So I don't know what the purpose of it is yet. I'll figure it out, though. There's definitely a reason for it. I just hope it doesn't, like, happen more and more, but, like, I don't know how common that is. Like, really? Like, I'm going to be in there taking blood and you're going to decide to hit the road? How many experiences do I have to go through that? Because I'm constantly on floors where they're on the brink of death, you know? And nobody saw that coming. It's pretty crazy. And I'm just starting to really get the people. And you know what's ironic? There's a lot of people that work in the lab. Hundreds of people. Hundreds. Smart motherfuckers that like graduated from like top of their class. People like that are like into like that stuff, you know? And like literally have like PhDs. And I'm like, they're introducing themselves to me, the men, okay? Women too. But I will tell you, the men that I keep meeting, I can't remember their names. And the all a different like background, like origin. Like and I picked up on that. And I wouldn't normally pick up on that. So I just feel like spirit's like kind of like putting things right in front of me. You know? I can't explain it. I don't know. I feel like it just reminded me of Lost. I watched a couple seasons. I don't know why it pulled me to Lost. Maybe these people are lost. I don't know. I'm not there to rub fucking people's backs, so I'll tell you that. So I don't know, but I do know that Spirit's trying to get me to see something because they're like, hi, I'm so-and-so. You're Courtney, right? Like I called you the other day, you know, when it came to like this blood test and your the blood clotted and we needed you to go back up to whatnot. Or can we do this or can we do that? Like how is the poke? Like capillary, venipuncture, like it matters, right? But it's all in the handheld anyway. So the fact that they're asking me and making conversation and I'm noticing like accents and skin colors and is their skin greasy, oil, like I'm noticing the oddest fucking things in the way people are staring at me, and this is not in my head. I don't know. There's a reason why I'm experiencing this, and I know I've done this in a past life. I know I have. I don't know what I did, you know, but and I don't know how it'll all fall into play, how it'll all like follow suit, you know, because I plan on being on YouTube and doing different stuff, you know. And if I really enjoy and love what I do, I'll probably do like per diem, maybe like once a week, you know, like make time for it because I enjoy it. So, and then if that's the case, the right people will just kind of fall into my lap, the right patients, the right, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. But I am that person that makes me wonder, you know? Because that's not stuff I'd question. Like, at all. At all. At all. You know? So. So I don't know. I know I keep saying that. I mean, I really don't know. I know it's something though. But I want to step out of that. I want to read. How do I know I wasn't helping by just being in the room? You know, like maybe I have the ability where it's stronger where other people can come in, or, you know, I don't know how much work my guides do because my guides are there for me. And guides don't really relay messages, but like maybe there's just something like if I'm there, you know. If that's the case, I'm going to find myself in a lot of these situations, unfortunately. But I really, truly hope not, because I don't know how to cope with those, what I experience. And I think even if I was to really figure it out, and I know it has to do with, you know, all the spirits, all the people. But I don't know. I'll definitely figure it out. It's probably my presence for sure. It's definitely something. But these people in the lab, like one of the girls was like, you just talk to him? Yeah, definitely, I'm definitely a psychic medium. But like the girl's like, he's been here for 20 years and he's never talked to anybody. Like, she literally said, what did he say? And I was like, you're just talking. She's like, oh, it seems really nice. And Mingy, people are fucking friendly. Like certain people are not. You know, there's got the good little clicking and like, I don't. But there's other people that are just like, good morning, Courtney. But I'm like that too, though. You know what I mean? Like, good morning. You know, like I walk to the front door and like they say to me they're like, you're the only one that walks to the door and greets us, and we're the fucking greeters. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm not that person that's gonna walk through the door at 3 a.m. and it's 4 a.m. no matter what time early is. I'm not gonna walk right by the security and the greeter, you know, without saying good morning or hello. You know what I mean? And they actually know my routine. Most people don't even come in through the entrance I go in, and I probably should not be parking while I'm parking, but I was told to park there, and someone gave me a little special parking pass. So I'm kind of like where the surgeons are, in and out. So they're like, oh, he's so friendly, you know. But oh yeah, my routine, because there's like a bathroom right there, and I won't use I'll only use staff bathroom, you know what I mean, because it's hospital or whatever. But I'll always use this one in the lobby because of my coffee, and I've been in the car for a half hour, and it's clean because nobody uses that bathroom because nobody from the ER can even go in that direction, right? Toilet seats are still up. It still smells like Mr. Clean. So I'm always going pee in that bathroom first thing in the morning, wash my hands because I'm having a cigarette, you know. And I'll put my Yeti on the thing on the outside or something. And then this morning, or it was yesterday, I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't have to go. And I even said to myself, I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, I hope I get downstairs and I have to go to the bathroom before I start more rounds, you know. And I did. I used a different bathroom. And I walked in this morning. He's like, you didn't use the bathroom yesterday. I was like, I know. He's like, you threw us off. It's like, oh my God. We were laughing about it. You know, I'm like, you guys know my routine? They're like, yeah, we know what shoes you wear. Those ones squeak. I got new ones that like squeak. Like sometimes I'll just wear like my kicks, and then other times I'll wear, you know, my clogs or whatever. And they love it because I'll be like, squeak, squeak, squeak. You know, and I pass them through the hallway all too, because outpatient is right there, the main entrance, and we'll go into outpatients like when people are having like blood transfusions and stuff. Like I'll go in there and we'll do certain sticks. So I see everybody throughout the day, you know, like you really get to know the people, and there's a lot of staff, you know. You even get to like know the certain doctors, and takes a little time, but everyone's like real friendly, you know. So not all of them, but a lot of them, you know, which makes it worth it. The more friendly outweighs the, you know, the cliquey groups or the, you know, we got some younger staff downstairs that I'm like working with here and there, and it's like, but I'm new to them, you know. And a lot of the older staff, the seniority, a lot of them left and went to like outpatient, went to like different things where, you know, is, you know, less pain on their ankles or their knees after so many years, you know. Being in the hospital 14 years, 20 years weighs tolls on you and your back, and now I see it, you know. Oh shit, I had one of the nurses today tell me to put a bed back down because she was short, and I forgot. But the guards were up. Anywho, it's definitely an experience that, I mean, I like. But I mean, I have questioned myself plenty of times walking in, you know, like, do I really want this job? Like, I know I like it, but do I really want it? Like, you know, like, why was I drawn to the hospital? Like, why do I want to be here? Like, I've questioned it. There's no question. But I think it has a lot to do with a past life and working in a hospital, and or maybe I'm about to find out, like we just talked about. You know what I mean? Like, I'll figure it out, because I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm talking to somebody who's Croatian, or these are nationalities. Like, I don't even, like, one of them, like, the name I don't even know, but it's, I don't know what that has to do with anything yet, but I wouldn't pick up on something like that if it wasn't meant for me to pick up on it, you know? And the guy, then she was like, he talked to you? Oh my God, he was so nice. He literally took his mask off and smiled. He's like, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, oh, I'm Courtney, you know, nice to meet you. And like, small talk. And I don't think they're picking up on me. It's not like that. It's just, I guess maybe it's just my presence, you know. I've run into that a lot. I've always run into that. But it's almost like they're curious about me. So I don't know if they can sense something from me. I don't know. My aura just shines. All right, we're an hour in. So, I mean, this energy is just, it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to say anything like spectacular, guys. I'm not expecting spectacular. So, let's see what we're looking at. Oh my gosh. I haven't been on this table for weeks, and I've let Kessel lay on it. I'm so sorry. It's filthy. It's filthy. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So rest of August, and if you really want to get a gist of like what I'm talking about with this energy, guys, go watch yesterday's hour chat. I just got like the message in my head, like, isn't it ironic, like the minute like somebody leaves, somebody wants back in, you know? But isn't that the way it goes? That's like, so what I'm getting is like regret. It's pulling me to what I talked about yesterday with guilt and regret, for not giving, and then really want to put the effort in when somebody wants to step out. I guess it just depends what direction it all leads to, and if you're dealing with a karmic, you're dealing with a friendship, a soulmate, like who are you dealing with, right? But the energy I'm picking up on is more like feminine or masculine, and it's regret, because it's like too late. But I feel like that's going to be hard for you guys to follow, because I feel like everybody feels like it's too late, whether you're in the good situation or the bad situation. So I guess you just got to be smart enough to push through and really go after what you want, and don't cater to anybody. Like, are you okay? Like, no, don't do that. I know it's so hard not to do that when you have a connection with somebody, or had a connection with somebody, or spent so many years with somebody, but like, that's not healthy. Okay, so it's not. So I'm hoping, because I mentioned that it might not come out. And I would say like new moon, a full moon in Aquarius, so I would say like Mercury retrograde. But then it's like we're going to get all the shit that needs to be released. And chances are we're going to get that shit anyway. You know? Got the Knight of Wands. She's looking fine. Three of Cups. But look at it, it's like black and white, so I don't know if it's obvious. This is the Knight of Wands, but coming in as a feminine. So I don't know if it's masculine and feminine energy. I don't know if it's the feminine that's like going towards happiness, and it's quick, it's fast, going towards hanging out with your friends, dating, being open to dating. Or if this is abundance, is happiness. Is it too many people in the picture? Four of Cups. Again, it's like not getting the offer. Like something, like someone's crying, but something else is growing, and there's one cup of love. There's probably too many people in the picture. Because it wouldn't make sense to go from bam, bam, bam. So the Four of Cups talks about boredom, rejection. This could be somebody who's coming in that's kind of inconsistent, is only looking for like party, a good time, you know, here to stay for a little while, not a long time. But I do love this Four of Cups because the Three Cups is down here, and the teardrops, you know, is going in one cup. But then look at the other cup, it's growing, it's budding from a rose, it's the Ace of Cups, right? So this is obviously a third party scenario. It just, and guys, people don't have to be sleeping with people, okay? It's just, there's still somebody in the energy. This could be wondering, you could have a masculine here, but it's feminine. I read the depiction on the cards. That's a fucking tough one for me right now. No, it's feminine. Okay, so something's coming in quick. So maybe after a rejection comes an opportunity. After heartache and pain comes love. Again, you could be dating, hanging out with your friends. I just feel like it's different energy, right? Because you got the Three of Cups here. Everyone's kind of like happy. You got the Three of Cups here, but someone's sad. But then there's something's growing here. It's already grown. What is that? It's the Three of Cups. So you got the Three of Cups twice. You actually have it 3 times, guys. This deck has duplicate cards in it. Only a few. Three of Cups. Something's black and white. This Three of Cups. Look how colorful. This Three of Cups. This is actually the Four of Cups. But Three of Cups, Three of Cups, Three of Cups. This fourth cup up here is the Ace of Cups. So it's like, it's almost like that one brings more abundance, which would bring me back to the fourth cup. But look at that flower, is like that flower, which then leads to the Two of Cups. Jesus, right? What is Spirit trying to confuse the shit out of people right now? Like, what the actual fuck is that about? Again, like, here comes happiness. Is it saying there'll always be 3 people, but like in a different way? Maybe you're with somebody who has a child, you know, so there'll still always be 3 of you. Everyone always thinks a third party is like an extra lover or people sleeping together. This could be somebody who just has a child, guys. Or it's an ex, or it's, you know, there's cheating, infidelity, like however it's going down. Two of Pence, so it's like juggling. Something already grew though. In the midst of your sorrows, something already grew. That tells me you were probably dealing with somebody who was very inconsistent in your life, in and out, Knight of Wands. Right, partying, hooking up. Then came sorrow. But in the midst, there was seeds that was planted. And it grew. I don't even think you saw it grow. I don't even think you knew it was growing. This reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. The candlesticks. What was he, French? What was the candlestick's name? And then he meets the housewife or the other candle. I feel like this is protected. I feel like these candles are protecting. I just see one hat here. Beauty and the Beast. So maybe you were dealing with a real asshole. A hermit. An introvert. Stubborn. My way or the highway. That was fucking beast all day. Until he fell in love. Right? So I literally feel like this is Beauty and the Beast. What was his name? Lama? Lama? It was the duster. It was the duster he was into. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She was so cute. Lemaire. She was adorable. Right? And didn't she have a kid that was a puppy? No. I'm getting confused with the candlestick and the clock. The clock guy fell in love with the cook. This is Beauty and the Beast all day. That's what happened. It's like love struck the beast. So I wouldn't worry about an opportunity coming back around or a rejection, or a rejection makes your heart grow stronger. Like, because even if you got rejected, like, there's like love. Like, that's the Ace of Cups. It's all by itself. Like, here you go. Like, somebody sees it now. Five of Cups. How many fucking cups? Oh my gosh. Somebody is so in their emotions. It's so emotional. King of Swords here. He's reversed. But again, Beauty and the Beast. Like, the beast is extremely detached, but also extremely protective. So you might be somebody here who is extremely protective of you. So this woman can be pretty bent out of shape right now. She don't even want to, like, she's crying. You could have been crying off and on the last few days. The last freaking 5 days, for me, I literally been crying off and on too. Like, it's like so random too. It'll be over like the weirdest things. But that's why I said last night, like, don't dwell, bounce out of it. Right? Because this type of energy, with this type of energy, it doesn't make sense. Because that's more like go, 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 adventurous. You're getting your spark back. Like, people are really like looking at you. Like, you're catching people's attention. Like, you're forced to be reckoned with, you know? So even if your energy is in and out, I don't think that's you. It could be this chick that's crying right here. Because these 2 cups, once again, are blooming. Look at this Ace of Cups, blooming. It's the 4 of Cups, right? So, like, there's an offer coming. Whether it's somebody brand new or somebody that rejected you in the past, however it rolls for you. And then you got this chick crying, but now we got 2 cups. It's almost like she didn't want to see it. Like, she always thought that path was hers. You know what I mean? Like she would always have what she wanted. But somebody has a very mutual connection here, and this one didn't want to see it. Or this is you feeling good going in a new direction, but you're still kind of in a drag. But see, that's regret. And I felt that in the beginning of the read. This chick doesn't have regret. This chick has regret. And it's petty. It's the 5 of Cups. It's petty. Crying over spilt milk. You should have opened your eyes. You knew better. This is like someone who thought they had something in the bag, like somebody would never leave. And it's like still doesn't want to see it. So somebody might not be accepting an ending. Yeah, see the 8 of Swords. Look at this sorrow. There was a third party. There was too many people in this situation. She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to see it. She's blindsided. Her eyes are shut. She wasn't blindsided. She was aware. She thought she'd always have the house, the home, the backyard. Like, she thought she'd be set. And now it's petty. And still doesn't want to break away. Doesn't want to see it. Doesn't want to know something's over. Doesn't want to see somebody else connected with somebody. Friends, family, whoever this is to you. Somebody does not want to see that somebody else is moving on. Yeah, Death card, 10 of Wands. Yeah, that's done. Death card, 10 of Wands, and then the Magician. So it's over. It's like crying over spilt milk, feeling guilty about how something went down, but it's over. This is like pleading, like, please, no, it's dead. Again, crying. Someone created something new. It's time to create something new. This could be trickiness that came in on Patreon, but it's like creating something new. You got one chick here that's like, do. Your energy is about to shift. There's offer, there's new love or rekindling a love. This one can no longer keep somebody feeling stuck or restricted. This one's dealing with karma. Look at all these tears. Tears, 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 tears. And on Patreon, it was fake tears. But I don't think necessarily they're fake tears. It's stop crying. Because it's like what goes around comes around is the energy I'm picking up on. So if she feels guilty, I knew I saw a bug. Sorry. If she smushed it, look at the hand. I just did the same thing. There was a bug right there. What goes around comes around. I hate to say it like that, because if she feels guilty, then she did something wrong, and now she thought, this is the energy of thinking you would always have something. Like you took it for granted. She didn't want to see it. Doesn't want somebody else to leave. Doesn't want somebody else to move on. There's a feminine here that is still attached to a masculine or another feminine, same sex, whatever it is for you guys. Somebody met somebody. Somebody has been dating somebody. Somebody's been partying with somebody, hanging out with somebody, friends with benefits type of situation. Something grew. I don't think anybody expected it. I don't think anybody saw it coming, but it's been growing. And now it's a different type of happiness. It's like two people who fell in love, and you have one energy, man or woman. She's showing me a woman. Man or woman that doesn't want to let go. And they now realize, and I keep hearing crocodile tears, but I know it's not crocodile tears. I know it hurts, but it's what goes around comes around. Like, whatever she made the masculine feel like when he was experiencing it, you know, umpteenth months ago or years ago, now she's feeling it. It's karma. So if this has to do with anything I was talking about last night, it's still hard for the masculine too, but the masculine is moving forward, laying the weight down, you know, is moving forward, and she doesn't want to accept it. And she is lying about emotions because it's almost like she has no pull in a situation. Like, shit is about to change drastically for her. I don't know if she's having financial troubles right now. Overspends, because that came in on Patreon too. So like, she could have been dealing with somebody who was providing for her. Or always had someone to fall back on. But it didn't give when it was time to give, had plenty of time to give. There's a cycle. It's a death card. Cycle after cycle after cycle. Alright. Tell me about this Knight of Wands. And I feel like this is a feminine energy that's about to be really happy regarding a situation. Nine of Wands. But wants the, so it's like in the past, or current past, even yesterday or 2 hours ago, whenever this energy shifts, this is like the wounded warrior. You've been through a fucking battle, like you've had it. But this also represents like, don't give up. Got the Hermit at the bottom of the deck, so I don't know if you're not talking to somebody. But this is like you've been through so much, like 9 battles. Probably a shit ton of battles. Scars. If this is her, you're going to stop shedding tears. Because you want nothing to do with third-party energy. Period. But you wouldn't be going towards that. You would have turned your back. But the thing is, something already grew. Some of you already know this person with the Two of Cups here, and others of you, it's somebody brand new. And it brings happiness. This is mental mayhem. This, you know, is... Tell me about this Three of Cups. This Three of Cups reminds me of something like not so great. Too many people in the damn picture. It's very dainty, though. I always did like that Three of Cups. It's the only one that's black and white right here. Damn. Okay. You're mirroring somebody. Because they have the Nine of Wands and you have the Nine of Wands. You guys now have 2 mirroring cards. Okay. Hi, Max. Holy shit. It's like if that's a feminine, she's exhausted. If that's a feminine, she's fucking exhausted. But she's so black and white. Like there's no color. This other one's like full of color. I don't know what that's regarding. Why it's being shown like that. Wow. A very mirroring energy. I don't know if somebody else is comparing you to somebody. I wouldn't think there'd be any fucking comparison. One's black and white and one's full of fucking color. So, what the fuck is this? Three of Cups, Three of Cups, Three of Cups. Three of Cups, 4 times. It is. It's both women mirroring each other. So this is probably, your energy is going to shift, right? I don't know what you got yourself into. It's like a third party. But you asked me, you knew about it. So you probably have been crying here and there. But you don't realize, like, something's already set in stone. Whether it's somebody you know or somebody brand new. Because you're about to be fucking happy. You have 2 women that are both sad. Probably both want the same thing. One's pure, one's dark. There's no color. So one's depressed and one is just, you know, hurting. And the other one is seriously depressed. But she put herself in that situation too. Fuck, man. And right now, this woman, your back is turned. Your eyes, you don't want nothing to do with it. You're not crying over the spilt fucking milk anymore. It's like the tower must have hit you. But you still look at something. You're still optimistic. Like, whether that has to do with somebody else or not. Like, you're still full of color. Like your sunshine, right? This is straight up fucking depression. Can't believe this is happening. Why are you doing this to me? This is somebody who's blaming somebody else. But she takes the blame. This is so fucking karmic. You guys are entwined in a karmic situation. I think you took yourself out of a fucking karmic situation. You're about to be upbeat, but you're fucking beat. But you don't get depressed. You don't sit by a rock and cry. You don't need a binky. Okay? This other energy is extremely depressed. Doesn't want to see something. Can't stop thinking about it. Like, this is like playing victim, unfortunately. This is somebody who feels like they're the victim, and they're not the victim. Because I just heard what goes around comes around. So this is something this energy caused. There's a feminine that caused a massive disruption the way something went down. So these 2 women are mirroring each other. I'm assuming they both want the same thing, but I don't think so. If anything, this woman would want it back. Not this one. This is the karmic. This is whoever's on the outside. It's like she may want it back, or she knows it's coming. Could be dealing with somebody extremely intuitive. Because this is a bright... It's a brighter energy. One is just like, all right, I know how to pick myself up. That's it. I'm out. Like, yep, it hurts. I'll fucking suck it up. I'm out. This one's depressed, and they're laying and weighing the depression on someone else. Yep, we got a karmic relationship. Letting go, but still loving. Not learning a lesson. We got the snake. somebody who put themselves and involved themselves in competition. So she was jealous. Even if somebody else came first, this one was jealous. Okay, the other woman is like, I don't think she's the other woman. She may have been the main woman, okay? But she competed against somebody else who wasn't even competing. Like, so see what I'm saying? She caused her own pain and suffering because she knew better, and she still put herself in a situation. She still got caught up. Really, Max? Nose is another woman. Triggering energy. So it's, I don't know if you both wanted the same man, the same woman. Don't shoot the messenger. If you don't want your past coming back, then so fucking be it, right? Move on. Somebody else is coming. Photograph, looking at your photos, nostalgia, missing you, making new memories. See, I get that. It's like still thinking about somebody, or this, you know, because it's the feminine, you know, still looking at things. She's obviously missing that same guy, but she's also making new memories. Yeah, see, she's heartbroken too. Hurt, grieving, mourning. See the fucking difference here? This one's hurt, but knows how to pick themselves up. And this other one is, it's unhealthy. It's tough. Again, I keep hearing what goes around come around. Like, this is somebody who put themselves back into a situation because somebody else stepped in, because they wanted it back. See what I'm saying? This is like when you let go, it's like somebody wants back, and it's karmic. It's not gonna work. If you stay in that situation, you're fucking screwed, and you can't stay in it. It's done. Right? And then you have another woman or men taking it as it goes, but is heartbroken. Is going through a tough time, but definitely is full of color, and is like not worried about those two cups. She's not worried about if something comes together. She's not worried about the pain it caused. It's all right. I'm gonna wipe my tears. I'm gonna pick my head up. I've been through enough battles, you know. Just because you're strong doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Clearly it hurts. You got heartbroken. And this reminds me of nostalgia. You could have been dealing with somebody from your past too. Came back around. But you're going to make new memories either with this person or somebody else. So it's definitely tough. And both women are mirroring each other, but in different ways. Like they, you know, it's... One put themselves in back into a situation intentionally. You know? This energy didn't do anything intentionally. It's just... Tell me about this Four of Cups. Where's the man? Where the fuck is he? What is he hiding? He's probably avoiding all these fucking people. This is definitely Beauty and the Beast, though. Yeah, see? There's that Ace of Cups, like I said. New love, there it is. This person fell in love. So this is either brand new. Now we have 6 cups. Could be somebody from your past that wants to reconcile and come back around to this one. Or it's going to be somebody brand new. It's coming. An opportunity is coming. Someone could be afraid of rejection because they rejected you. But the way it looks, I don't think you got to worry about it. Tell me about this 3 of Cups. So here comes new love. And somebody could have lost that opportunity too. And somebody could just be realizing, you know, it's over. I lost it. But I said, what is it? And it's the Ace of Cups. And I saw the Ace of Cups right away. So this is the 4 of Pentacles. You're dealing with somebody who's holding back their own happiness. So that's probably where the masculine comes in. Because the 4 of Pentacles talks about holding back. Could be some anger right now. I just had a fly. Look at the Fool. It's funny because the Fool's at the bottom of the deck here too. So you could be dealing with an Aries, or this is just they're holding back from a new start because maybe they need to wrap something up. The Knight of Wands. So it is a masculine energy. See, coming back around. So, and you notice how he's looking here? He's like scared. Like, ah, shit, I fell in love. Shit. Am I really going to do this? So they're not going to hold back for too much longer. You two might collide too. You might bump into each other. It might be out of the blue, unexpected. This is more like an invitation though. Yeah, King of Swords. And the Eight of Cups is the challenge. So it's like coming back to a situation and leaving a situation. Somebody got themselves stuck in a fucking pickle. In a pickle jar for sure. So that's the masculine holding back on their own happiness right now because they need to lay the weight down. They need to drop something. I will tell you, you're dealing with somebody depressed. This is not just going to go away. Okay? But I will tell you, you cannot cater to this energy. All right? And you have somebody else over here that is kind of suffering. So when I say what goes around comes around, the masculine might feel the repercussions of this too. Because two people fell in love and somebody didn't do the right thing. So tell me about this Five of Cups, which is linked to this one up here who's been through a lot of battles. So I don't know if there's honesty here and lies here. We've been through this, we've been through that. Why would you do this? Like, but still blindsided, like, right? Like wanting to keeps interfering. This chick might be like, I want you back. And it might come out of the blue. Like, can we do this again? Can we work on it? And it's like, no, you can't. It's karma. It's judgment. Which is karma. The Hanged Man. So something's held up. The Five of Cups wouldn't be hung up though. So this is changing your perspective. So this one changed her perspective real quick. It's almost like swinging. Let's change it up real quick. Someone could be on a sex swing for fucking all I know. She don't look too sad right there though, right? Because she's not looking at, I can't believe this happened. I fell in love. We fell in love. But it's like, it is what it is. She is heartbroken. This one loves, but is not in love. It's a big difference. It's a big, big difference. And you got the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So with the High Priestess, something might just need to be taken care of. Wasn't ready for that yet. Something might need to be taken care of there. So what's this Eight of Swords? Or it is hung up, you know, like just a little bit of a pause. Ugh. It's Temperance reversed, but it could be a fire sign. But it's like, look at blood dripping from the tear. Like it's like overflowing. Like it is. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Like this isn't, like it's, again, the wheel, guys. It's so karmic. Three of Cups. The Lovers. You know. The Hermit, not really going within. Everything's reversed for them. They can only focus on the Three of Cups. Like, competition. Who's taking it? Who's winning? Is she, what are you doing? And I just said to myself, do you really want a divorce, or are you really moving on with somebody else? Yeah, see the Death, and it's right next to it again, like Five of Cups too. So she's got the Five of Cups too. You know, again, not wanting to see something. There's a linkage here to money too. So Oh my goodness. Like it's over. Like that's it. Like it's over. It's karmic. It's a karmic ending. See you later. And again, it's like what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. It's so karmic. This is her karma from another lifetime. It's someone's own karma. You can't make somebody else feel better. You can't change somebody's karma. If she's going through pain, she deserves it. And I hate to say it. If a masculine's going through pain, you deserve it. If this one's going through pain and it was karmic, you deserve it. It's something you did wrong. It's that simple. It's justice. It's karmic. We don't have control over that. So stop trying to fix somebody who's having a really hard time with you going in a new direction. And it's the Seven of Wands. Like fighting it, blocking it. Man, she really... she's like, phew. Fighting it. Fighting karma. You can't. Yes, you got the Chariot. You can't. Moving forward. She has to move forward. It's karmic. She's destined to go in a different path anyway. Like this relationship's over. It's blocked. It's spiritually fucking blocked. The Chariot. Moving forward. Done. Someone's following destiny. Someone's following their path. This relationship is over. And somebody does not want to let it go. God damn. The Chariot and the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, is over. Someone learned a lesson. Time to go. This karmic relationship is done. It's a struggle, but it's done. And everyone's going to feel the repercussions of this one too. Because someone got hurt. Like really hurt. It's not like, oh, I'm hurt. And the other person's like, oh, you can handle it. You're strong. No. There's repercussions here. Because another masculine that fell in love. And why trying to hash this out is not taking care of this. And I don't think this is a situation where it's like, I need to take care of this first and then I'll do this. No. You broke someone's heart. You don't just break a heart by being like, I need a timeout, let me fix things. No. No. This has been cycles with the wheel. He will feel the repercussions of her heartache. She's protected. You guys are spiritually protected. You're about to be with somebody and this union is spiritually protected. Done. It's a wrap. You're going to get an offer soon from a masculine. Others of you, something will be completely done and somebody new is coming in. It is a new cycle for everyone. The one that's like in a really karmic situation that's not learning, still holding on, not wanting to see, still fighting it for the wrong reasons. Karma's getting them good. And you, like I said, you can't feel bad for this energy. It must suck. It must be hard to watch somebody else go through pain. But where were they when you were going through pain? Where was this other chick when this man's heart was broken? Where was she? Emotionally, where was she? This is somebody who's emotionally detached too. You have a feminine here that she may love, but she doesn't love. Like she's not very loving. She's not very nurturing. She put herself, she purposely competed. She, like, something was over. Another woman stepped in. She wanted back. She put herself in the middle of competition. She purposely interfered with what they have. But this is protected. And if it was rejection, it was, you know, Spirit's way of protecting you. Some of you, this is definitely a rekindling of a Beauty and the Beast story. And others of you, you're ending something karmic and you're stepping in a new territory. I don't even use that expression. Tell me about this Ten of Wands. She's still trying to block it. You can't block the Death card, the Ten of Wands. Like, you can't block it. The Chariot's here. Lesson learned moving forward. You can't block that. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands and the Five of Wands. Still fighting, still bickering, still arguing. Looking at that pentacle. She might be struggling financially. And if she's not, she likes the way that shiny coin looks. There was probably financial security because there was not emotional security. It's toxic. It's unhealthy. Yeah, judgment reversed. Like, made a bad judgment call. Like, this is, again, it's karma, guys. Clarity is coming her way. Like, it's over. Lay the weight down. Stop competing. Are you still trying to stay in the picture because of money? Because why would she want to stay in a situation where there's competition dealing with a detached guy? Think about it. Think about it for a minute. Like, where the fuck is her self-worth? Why is she here? Why is she still choosing to compete? Why is she still putting herself in the situation? Why does she still want a new opportunity? It's done. It's over. I hate to be harsh. Time to move on. Judgment, like, you're dealing with your own karma. You were probably draining somebody's piggy bank. Some way, somehow. Like, why would you want to be in a third-party scenario? Why would you want to be in a situation here when you know there's a masculine and a feminine that fell in love? Why do you still want to be here? For whoever that message is for. Why? Here comes karma. Even if you're in the karmic situation, eventually you will find that once you learn what it is that you need to learn, self-worth and other things, okay, the right person will come into your life too. But right now, you're the one, this is your karma. This isn't somebody else's karma. Somebody else could have fell in love with somebody else, so you want to blame this person. But it started here. It started the roots. The minute you came out of the womb and took a fucking breath, that's your karma. Everyone, we all walk our own fucking path. It was your choices. The way you went about something. I've had that in my life too. Not anymore, not right now, right? I've had that though. I know. You can't fight that. This is her karma. She's probably feels guilty as shit and try to make somebody else feel guilty for moving on too. It was a bad, bad judgment call, and she's going to get the repercussions of it too. And he's going to get the repercussions because he did something he knew he shouldn't have, and he was smart enough. He's coming in practical and logical. For somebody who's so damn practical was making impractical fucking decisions. Smart motherfucker here. He knew better, and he still broke somebody else's hat. This one's not really heartbroken, but she's feeling the pain. She's not feeling the heartache. She's feeling the repercussions of her actions from maybe fucking 20 years ago. 10 years ago. This karma has nothing to do with him. And it has nothing to do with her. This is where people need to wake up. You can't fix someone else's karma. Tell me about the Magician. The High Priestess. Ace of Wands. You're dealing with, you manifested something, okay? And it's in your Akashic records. It's the Magician and the High Priestess. You could be dealing with a High Priestess, a healer, someone who's spiritual. You manifested this. Someone manifested this. That's it. It's here. It's already manifested. It's already here. Something is coming together. You can't stop it. She can't stop it. He can't stop it. She can't stop it. Even if the two of you don't even want each other back anymore, you can't stop it. You fell in love. There's something there. And it was with the Hermit too. It's like two spiritual people. And I said that the other day. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And we all said, oh, I want a spiritual connection. It's so hard to find a spiritual... Well, you can always find spiritual connections with people, but it's so hard to actually fall in love and have something special like that with somebody who's on the same spiritual wavelength, like in a way, with wisdom. Whether they're aware of it or not, whether it's linked to past life, like I don't know. But... it's two spiritual people coming together. And I think you were dealing with somebody who was not spiritual. And they've been walking the spiritual path. And I don't even think they realized the path that they were walking. And that's been coming in on Patreon for a while now. Well, there's a tower and the wheel. Bam. Done. The wheel is turning. It is out of your control. It is out of your hands. Same thing I said with Patreon. It is out of your control. You can't stop this. You already manifested it. It's here. It's your destiny. It's part of your Akashic records. Universe is interfering to make sure the wheel moves. You can't put a wedge in this wheel. She can't put a wedge in it. He can't. She can't. This is two people coming together. And it can't be stopped. And it's powerful. Powerful. There you go, folks. What's this Ace of Cups? Some of you, it's brand new. Others of you, it's a rekindling. Do you see that flip? You see that flip? There's no more second chances here. Clock, cycle's been stuck in a cycle. That's just it. It's time. Okay? Abundance. Just time to move on, guys. Bigger, happier things. Someone's gonna have a real hard time with you moving on. Stop the pattern. Silent treatment. Like, whatever this is can't be stopped. That's it. It can't be. The wheel's here. The universe is interfering. Even if you don't want to be with this other person because they broke your heart right now, it can't be stopped. At the end of the day, the two of you still love each other. If you really have that much love, you will figure it out. You will make it work. And the universe will see that it happens. No matter how long you fight it. So what's the point of fighting it, really? And I've said that before too. Like, what's the point of fighting it when you know it's like inevitable or you're falling in love? Like, why are you buying time? Why are you doing this? Like, it's only causing me or you heartache and everybody else involved. Like, so why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know? Maybe it's just real hard for somebody to finally let go, but finally it's like enough's enough. I don't know if she got caught doing something, he got caught. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that you don't even fucking know of. Why? Because the universe is making sure that two people come together. And that's it. And this is, you got to remember, this is somebody else's karma. Okay? You can't stop somebody else's karma. You can't heal somebody else's pain when they knew exactly what they were doing and they still did it. And if there's that much guilt and that much karma and it's getting dosed like that, she did a lot more than somebody's aware of. A lot more. That should be a big wake-up call for you too. Because that is a huge dose of karma. That's what goes around comes around. And it has nothing to do with those two other people. It doesn't. It really, truly doesn't. It's something she did in her past that she knew better and she still did. What if she was a cheater? What if she did this? Somebody never found out. What if she stole that and she did that? Or the way she did that when she was 19 and then the way she did that and how she handled that with a child or how she handled that with her own parent. It's her karma. Don't try to make somebody else feel better. Like, you can't. You're going to make the situation worse. It sucks, especially if you guys were together for a long time and it's a marriage and you're separating. Because in the beginning I heard it was something with like divorce papers. And she's questioning it. Is it really divorce papers or is it this other chick? Because she knew the other chick was in the picture. So is he really telling the truth? Regardless, he's not going back. He's moving forward. He's either coming towards you or he's going his merry way and she's going her merry way, and they can co-business, co-parent, or go their merry way if they have no attachment. Others of you, it's someone brand new. Majority of you, you're rekindling with somebody. Others of you, it's you know better. You were dealing with a player, and now you've learned self-worth and certain lessons, and you're doing things the right way, and it fucking hurts. But you're not going to dwell on it. You know? You're not going to, why is this happening to me? If you're still in the stage of why? Or lack of confidence. This person makes me feel like I'm not good enough, or this and that. Like, if you're like in all of that mode, that's not good. I hope you're not in that mode. You should be beyond that mode. I hope there's not people that have been watching me for years being like, oh my God, yes, finally. I had to go through so many cycles and it never came. If that's the case, it's still not coming. It's not that person. They're moving above and beyond, and they're on to someone else. They're not back coming towards you guys, okay? This would be a situation you're fully aware of, that you were with somebody, there was some type of interference, and you fell in love with somebody, and you know it's either going to come back around or it's not, but you're not waiting. You're not like, is it really going to happen? Is it this? Like, you wouldn't be in that stage. You know what I mean? You would be past that. Like, it's either going to come at you and it's going to be a surprise with the tower, and it's like, wow, you know? Now here the wheel is moving, you know? It's like, didn't expect it. It's great that it came back. Like, this person can't come back and make mistakes like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's once you guys click, you come back together and you agree, that's it. You guys are going to figure it out. You don't got to worry about her. You don't got to worry about the other him, other people's opinions. Nope. It won't matter. Just won't. Beautiful, beautiful connection. And if you haven't met that yet, you're about to. But again, only if you're not in a karmic situation and you realize your worth. Then you're walking the new path by yourself because you stopped something. A lot of people think it's like, oh, well, they put a halt to something. No, you stopped feeding the energy. You stopped it because you did what was best for you. If you feel that heartache, but you did what was best for you, trust me, something's coming at you. It's either a rekindling or something brand new. Hands down, no question. That other scenario in that comic Icky, she or he is not going to get anything for a little while. It's not a thing. That person needs to learn some self-worth and get out of depression and stop blaming other people and stop being angry with certain stuff and learn how to, you know, stand up for themselves and feel better about themselves. And they got to do that on their own. They don't get a partner in crime to figure it out with. Did we? That's why I'm saying, like, it may sound harsh, but I don't feel bad. Did we? We sure as fuck didn't. We sure as fuck did not. We were solo. Okay? So, don't try to fix somebody else's pain. Don't make somebody else try to feel better right now. Because you're only keeping that person more distraught, more angry, more sad. Because you're still making them think you care. And you may care because you have a huge heart. But you still have to know where to draw the line and walk away and say enough is enough. I'm sorry, I can't be this person for you anymore. I know at one point I was, but I can't. It's a big lesson on each end. It's tough. Tough go. There's definitely a beauty in the beast for those who are rekindling. And others of you, it's just no love. Okay? And others of you, it's some dark energy, and it is what it is, but I don't even think you're entertaining that or dealing with that anyway, to be honest with you. I mean, some of your friends could be going through it, co-workers, hands down, there's no question, you know? But again, you can only do so much. And if you're that awakened, you're not going to be hanging around with people who are bringing you down like that anyway. You could have a friend that's heartbroken or depressed or suicidal or XYZ, but like, I don't think you're dealing with that extreme. When somebody's that awoken, you kind of like-minded friends, you know, they still find their way along the way and they still make mistakes, and we all do. But like, not everyone's experiencing the tower and why is this happening? And if that's the kind of friendships you got, then, you know, go buy your tickets to the circus, because that's where you guys will belong. I love you guys. I've had a long day. I'm fucking exhausted. I need to eat supper. Congratulations on those who are pushing through, because it's painful on all ends. It's just, some of the pain is pure and the other pain is just like, it's your own doing. It's just the way the apple falls from the tree, troops. I love you guys. We all have to learn those lessons in life. You know? I don't know. But I'll see you when I see you. I love you. Bye, guys. Love you too. You're very welcome. Bye, guys.